Your mind is not your friend, it's your enemy. And every day, without you even noticing, it is stealing your time, your focus, and your future. You don't need a gun, a battlefield, or a soldier to lose a war. All it takes is one distraction, one notification, one endless scroll. That's how people waste years of their lives without ever realizing they were in a war in the first place. But here's the truth. If you don't learn to control your brain, it will control you. And the cost? Your dreams, your peace, your life. Every single day, you live in a war you cannot see. It is not fought with weapons, but with notifications. It is not waged on a battlefield, but in the space between your ears. This war is for your attention, your focus, your peace of mind. And if you do not rise and fight, you will lose years of your life without even realizing where they went. Step 1. Take back the steering wheel. Think of your mind like a car. For most people, they are not behind the wheel. They are sitting in the passenger seat, and algorithms, impulses, endless scrolling, they are driving. That is why you feel lost. That is why hours vanish into distraction. You keep handing over the wheel of your own brain. Your attention is your currency, yet most people spend it like it's worthless, paying every app, every useless video, every shallow dopamine hit. Imagine throwing $100 bills out the window every minute. That's what happens when you spend your focus on distractions. To regain control, you must start treating focus as a scarce, sacred resource. Protect it. Guard it like gold. Decide where it goes before someone else decides for you. When you choose to read deeply, think slowly, or allow silence into your day, you are planting seeds of strength. Remember, boredom is not your enemy. It is the birthplace of creativity. Every great idea in history was born in the quiet. Step 2. Separate thought from self. Here's a truth that can change everything. You are not your thoughts. A thought can rise like smoke and vanish just as quickly. But what happens to most people? They confuse the spark with the fire. An urge to quit shows up, and they say, "This must be who I am." A thought whispers, "I can't do this," and they believe it as truth. But your identity is not the random noise in your head. Your freedom begins when you learn to pause, to step back, to say, "This is just a thought. I don't need to obey it." The space between impulse and action, that tiny gap, is your kingdom. Expand that gap, stretch it, make it wide enough to breathe. That space is where discipline lives. That space is where you turn weakness into power. Step 3. Choose long-term over short-term. Every action is a vote for your future self. Each choice is a brushstroke on the canvas of who you are becoming. The question is, are you painting a masterpiece or scribbling chaos? When you give in to distraction, you are voting for a weaker future. When you choose silence, study, sweat, or discipline, you are investing in a self that will outlast impulses. A mind without direction will always fall into the hands of comfort, and comfort is not freedom. It is a prison disguised as pleasure. You must decide, do you want to feel good for 5 minutes or strong for 5 decades? The price is discomfort. Growth always feels harder than escape, but it compounds. Like money, like time, like knowledge, it builds. Step 4. Train the mind like a muscle. We admire people who can lift heavy weights, but the heaviest weight is invisible, your own attention. When you train your body, you grow stronger. When you train your mind, you grow unshakable. How do you train it? By intentional friction. Put the phone in another room when you work. Sit in silence for 10 minutes instead of filling every gap with noise. Read a book without checking your screen. Do something boring and resist the urge to escape. Each rep strengthens the muscle of focus, and one day, you will realize the urges that once controlled you now bow to your control. Step 5. Redefine freedom. Most people think freedom means doing whatever I feel like, but that is not freedom. That is slavery to the moment. True freedom is not reacting. True freedom is choosing. It is living aligned with your values, not your impulses. The man who controls his mind controls his future. The one who doesn't will forever be controlled by corporations, by noise, by the endless pull of cheap entertainment. So which will you choose? The wake-up call. Every day you delay is another day lost. Every distraction you surrender to is another hour stolen. And when you add them up, days, months, years, you realize what was taken from you, your potential, your peace, your life. This is your wake-up call. You do not have to drift anymore. You can begin today. You can reclaim attention, separate thoughts from self, and align your life with long-term consequences. One small step right now can ignite the chain. Put the phone down, take a breath, decide what matters, and move. Because the truth is simple. You either control your brain or it will control you. There is no middle ground.